working, like genuinely working every single day, but nothing is moving. You just sit there and think, what am I doing wrong? I'm grinding, I'm putting in the time. But look, here's what's actually happening when you're working. You're not actually working, you're performing work. And there's a huge difference. Look, most people just never catch it their entire life. You wake up, you watch YouTube, you watch like a few videos about productivity like this one, and then you watch one about sales, and then you watch a podcast about mindset. And by the time that you're done watching these videos, you feel like you actually did something. You feel like you were productive. And it wasn't productive at all. And then you go and reorganize your Notion calendar, you make new tasks, create new content calendars, which looks clean. But you feel like an entrepreneur doing entrepreneur things. But I want to ask you this one question, okay? And ask yourself this question as well. What did you actually produce today? Not what did you consume, not what did you organize, but what did you actually make? What did you close, send, or ship that actually moved the needle forward? And most people can't answer the question. And that should tell you everything about yourself. See, I call it fake productivity, okay? And it's so dangerous because it feels so real to real work. These are things I call ghost tasks. Tasks that feel important, they look important, that you can put on your to-do list and you can even tick it off. But that has no impact on whether your business grows or dies. Like watching educational content. Just doing all these different things that you feel like are productive but they aren't. I'm not saying learning is bad. It's the fact that you learn more than you do, which is why you're gonna stay broke while feeling like you're grinding. Because real work is uncomfortable. I understand. Okay? It requires you to actually show up and produce something that's real. And because it's uncomfortable, your brain always finds something that feels productive but isn't. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say you can't do these things. Real work is really uncomfortable, okay? It puts you in front of rejection. It shows you how to produce something. And because it's uncomfortable, your brain automatically tries and finds something that feels productive, but it isn't productive at all. Look, it's literally just your brain trying to protect your ego. So here's the shift that actually changed everything for me in my business right now. I stopped measuring my days by the hours I worked, and I started measuring by the output per hour. Because think about it in this perspective, okay? Because it's super simple, but it's gonna hit differently. If you're doing sales, how many people did you close today? Not how many videos or how much content you watched about sales. And not how many scripts did you write. How many people said yes? How many convos did you have in sales today? And for example, if you're making content, man, how many videos did you post today? Not how many did I edit, how many did I film, how many videos did you upload today? And if you're running an agency, for example, how much outreach messages did I actually put out today? How many calls did I get booked? See, that's the real score. That's the only number that matters. Because like you can work 10 hours and if your score is 0, it's almost like you worked 0 hours. Because like someone out there is working for 3 hours, but they move their business forward more than you did all week. Because hours are vanity and the output that you actually get is reality. And when I started tracking this myself, what did I produce every single day and not what did I consume? It was super uncomfortable, I'll admit that, okay? Because the entire day I was doing nothing. Because discomfort is the point. You feel discomfort when you see that you're actually doing nothing. You stop letting yourself get away with a full day of these ghost tasks and just calling it a grind. Now this is where it actually gets deeper, okay? Because this is the part that most people miss, even though they figure out that they're doing these fake productivity tasks, okay? You've probably heard of the 80-20 rule, which is something like this. 80% of your tasks that don't move the business forward, leave them aside, and 20% of it is what you actually do. So you take everything you do in a day, so all the calls, all the content, all the outreach, all the emails, all the planning, okay, whatever it may be. Now ask yourself, which 20% of that is actually making me money? For me, it was super simple. Outreach, calls, sales, and delivering. That was it, okay? That was my 20%. Everything else felt important, but it wasn't. But here's where it gets even crazier, okay? It gets even crazier. Now, apply that rule again. What's 20% of the 20%? Now that's 4%. That tiny little bit of tasks is what's responsible for almost 80% of your business's growths. For me, it wasn't just doing the outreach. It was sending outreach to the right people with the right offer at the right time. It was super specific. And that was my 4%. Because look, when I stopped spreading myself across all these different tasks and I locked in on that one thing, that's when the numbers in my business actually started to move forward. That's when I started to see results for the first time. So I want you to do something tonight. Actually, do this right now. Sit down and ask yourself these two questions. What are the 20% of tasks in my business that directly make me money? Not feel productive, not these tasks that look good on paper, but like what is it that actually makes me money? And then inside that 20%, what are the 4% of tasks that makes me the most money out of these tasks that make me the most money? And that's your 4%. And your job is to only focus on that 4% and protect it like it's the most valuable thing. Because you need to stop spending time on these tasks that waste your time. Like fixing your logo, fixing your website. These 4% of tasks are the actual tasks that are going to move your business forward. It's what's going to get you results. So, does this directly make me more money and move my business forward? And if the answer is no, then it goes back, okay? Or if it doesn't happen at all, okay? It doesn't happen at all. So, be honest with me. What are your 4%? And are you actually spending most of your time on it? Because most of you already know what these 4% are. You're not doing it. You know what they are. You just don't want to do it because it feels uncomfortable. Okay? So, if you're into this type of content when it comes to self-improvement, I'm uploading every single day on YouTube and my Instagram. So, make sure that you follow and stay tuned. And remember, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Peace.